Percent composition. Before I do the formal note on this, let me just discuss the idea on the side here. Let's take water, H2O. What is the percent of hydrogen in water? It's not the fact that there's 2 atoms out of a total of 3, which is one way of looking at it. That would be 66% in terms of atoms. But we usually mean percent by weight or mass. Now you know that water has a mass of 18 grams per mole. Out of those 18 grams, how many grams are hydrogen? Well, it's 2 grams. 2 grams of hydrogen and 16 grams of oxygen. That gives us 18. Now what percent is 2 out of 18? You take 2 grams, divide by 18, multiply by 100 to change to percent, and get 11.1%. So now we can say that water consists of about 11% hydrogen, and for oxygen, we just subtract from 100% and get 88.9%. So that's the idea. Not too difficult. Now, the next part can go into your notes. The percent of any element will be the mass of that element divided by the mass of the compound that it's in, times 100. Okay, so let's do one question. Here's a typical question. Determine the percent composition of ammonium nitrite. This means you have to calculate the percent by mass for each element, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen. If the question just asks for the percent of one element, like we did up here for water, then you just do it for the one element. It was simple enough to do the oxygen, so I just did it as a natural consequence. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. First of all, we're going to need the molar mass of ammonium nitrate. So you add up all the atomic masses and get 64. So now for the percent of nitrogen. We have to get the total mass of nitrogen. You can see that it is in 2 spots, here and here. So now we write the percent of nitrogen, 2 times 14, total mass of all the nitrogens in the compound, divided by the molar mass times 100, and we get 43.75%. That takes care of nitrogen. Now, we do the same thing for hydrogen. There are 4 hydrogens in the compound, so each with a molar mass of 1, and 4 over 64 times 100 is 6.25%. And finally, oxygen, there are 2 oxygen atoms, each one is 16. So 16 times 2 is 32, divided by 64 times 100 is 50%. Here is a problem for you to try. Determine the percent composition of potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7. You should stop now, try and solve it. When you're ready, check. I'm going to show the answer now. Here it is. And here is a quick solution. And that brings an end to this lesson on percent composition.